I like music. Before I got into game development, I was very much into my music. That's why I love it when game music does it just right. It brings you into the game, filling in the gap of immersion that the environment needs to tell you you are living in it. But game music is normally tailored to the gameplay and experience of the game itself. What if we reversed that method and instead tailored a game to suit a song? Hi everyone, it's Ollie from Mashup Games, and here's how I made my game around the song Underground. Before we get started, let me introduce you to Ben Wimsett. Ben is a fellow game developer, otherwise known as BWDev on his channel, that is currently working on their game Lumbermill, a management game all about cutting trees. But what some of you don't know is that Ben is also a musician. He recently released an album called Caught in the Sale. It's indie music that reminds me a lot of my time playing Life is Strange, and it brought me onto a certain wavelength. That game used indie musicians and their music as methods to bring out and emphasize emotions in certain points in the story. Now me being my ambitious self thought how cool it would be to use music in that way too, but I couldn't do that in Cardallion, it wouldn't fit. So that's when I made the decision to make a game around one of Ben's songs. After a lot of listening, I settled on Underground. I was particularly attracted to the Underground due to its unique sound and how well the sounds suited the lyrics. I was imagining exploring an underground cave that was short and narrow, but had spots of open spaces full of glowing crystals. I got a simple platformer set up using some tips from Board to Bits games, and I also wanted to try a camera system inspired by a new indie game, QOMP. In that, the game is split into rooms where each room has a different interaction with the camera. In one room, the camera can be fixed in the middle. In another, the camera can follow the player vertically. The art style is minimalistic, as I was also trying to get something similar to the scene in the Brackies video, How to Make Your Game Look Good. If you listen to the song again, you can hear these sounds that form a melody, and though I have no idea how such a sound was created, it made me think that this melody is the crystals in the underground cave. And so I wanted to use that in my game using adaptive music. Adaptive music is one of my favourite things in games, where the music reacts to the gameplay or vice versa. For example, how the music would change when you encounter an enemy, and then fade to normal music when you defeat all of them. Or having different sounds for your footsteps over different terrain. Or you could go a few steps deeper and incorporate the music into the gameplay, like how in Crypt of a Necrodancer you have to move and act to the beat of the music. I wanted to do something like this for a while, and now I thought the best opportunity has come up in the crystals. With a script written up that manages all calls for each beat, I've managed to time up the crystals to beats in a bar that, when reached, would cause the crystal to shine. Just changing colour isn't enough though, so I also decided to utilise a package from Unity called 2D lighting, which makes the crystals glow that much better and also light up the environment. Though I was still wanting to keep the minimalistic style, I thought it best to give the crystals actual shape, and so made some sprites that look a bit more crystally. The biggest problem, however, was itself the music. Game music is normally composed with repetition in mind, since gameplay is incredibly flexible and dynamic, and so the music has to be tailored to be played for any amount of time. After all, if you are a player that's a bit slower than the others, having a piece of music just go from the motions and then start again when it's finished can be a little awkward. But Underground wasn't created to be in a game soundtrack. It has a clear beginning and an end, and the music kept adapting and changing throughout the song. I was able to split it up into 6 parts. You have the intro and outro on the ends, then you have 4 separate loops within the song that can be repeated again and again. I could have just kept the song playing all 4 sections then looping back to the beginning, but then that wouldn't be fully utilising adaptive music. I wanted the music to change and advance as the player makes it further and further through the game. So I added these barriers that, when the player passes through them, would tell the music player they want to move on to the next track. Then the music player would wait until either the current track is finished or has reached a certain point where the shift wouldn't be jarring. Then it would move on to the next track. Of course these triggers can't actually be seen in the game, as I don't want the effect to be too obvious. Now came the laborious task of game development that people tend to underestimate: level creation. Since the game right now isn't actually very interesting, I made the crystals a dangerous hazard for the player, and if they hit a crystal, then they would move back to a checkpoint. In last level, I made the checkpoints a little sparse, but because of the harsh difficulty, people got a little irritated with how unforgiving the game was. So learning from my mistake, I added a checkpoint at each exit of a room. Granted, this game will be nowhere near the same difficulty as last level, I thought it would be worth it if only a quality of life improvement. I also made these platforms that aren't dangerous to the player, but move or rotate on the beat. But then I hit one of GameDev's deadliest viruses, Demotivation. Though I was excited to make this game, I realised that I didn't actually have much of an idea for the game itself. I had put so much thought into how to get the adaptive music player set up and the lighting, but once I had done that, I didn't have much enthusiasm for the level creation. Though I did finish the game in the end, it's been a really interesting learning moment for me. It made me realise what parts of game dev I am really interested in, and what I need to be making in order to have a game I enjoy making. But I finished it anyway, and I'm still happy with what I made. I may not have enjoyed parts of it towards the end, but sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the project as a whole. Yes, the game may be short. Yes, the game may not have a lot in terms of substance. But it's a game that uses adaptive music in a cool way, that sells on its promise. But don't take it from me. After all, this game was made with BWDev's music, so let's hear what Ben thought of the game.
Hi everyone, my name's Ben, otherwise known as BWDev here on YouTube. I'm currently making a game called Lumbermill, which you might have seen, and I also make music, and Ollie came along to me about a month ago and said, quite like your EP, I want to make a game with one of your songs, Underground. So I was like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Now I get to play it, so that's really cool. Anyway, let's play this. Man, that logo is awesome. I really like the reflection effect. Nice. Okay. This is all I've seen so far, just this one screen, so I'm intrigued to see what else there is. Also, I really like the way the timing and the lighting and everything is all lined up. Here we go. Oh, that's interesting. So you've like cut up the song, I guess, to time with the different sections. Because I guess not everyone's going to be good and just do it all in one go, so that makes perfect sense. Particularly people like me. Despite making games, I'm very bad at playing games. Oh, cool. I like how the aesthetic's kind of developing over the course of the game. Like, all the levels are getting a little bit more complicated. It's really weird hearing my own music in the background of someone else's project. It's very cool. But like, I never would have thought someone would make a game with my music in the background. That's really cool. I need to get the timing of my button presses right. Right and then up. Right and then up. I need to think more about the timing of the music, I think, because everything's in time with some beat in the song. And I gotta like not fall on that crystal but immediately beneath. That's clever, that. Kind of punishes you a bit more for the fall. There we go. Oh, that was an epic hack there. I feel like this is going to be a good game to speedrun. I challenge all of you to speedrun Underground by Mashup Games. Nice. That surprisingly didn't take me that long. Right. Okay, so now we've got an issue because I've got my tripod right in front of the screen, exactly where my character is. So this could be interesting. I just thought I'd make my life harder, you know. Oh, there we go, yeah, as predicted. I can't imagine how bored of this song Ollie must be now. I mean, I've heard it a lot, and I bet he's listened to this a lot of times now. I hope you pressed the mute button while you were developing. This is like a proper, like, precision platform. I love it. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's so satisfying. Oh no, I didn't realize there was another... Pro hacks. Nice. I do like the way you've cut up the song into the different sections, and then now we've got the ending of the song. Awesome. Yeah, great job, man. That's really cool. I love the way that everything flashes in time with the music, the way you've cut the song up so you can be bad but still have the music there all the time, also in time. So yeah, I'm really impressed. Everyone, go play Underground by Mashup Games. I don't know whether you can, whether Ollie's going to make it public. You should. Anyway, subscribe to Mashup Games and go listen to Ben Whimsy on Spotify.
And so that's all for this video. If you've liked this video, then please like and subscribe. This is Mashup Games, signing out.
It's all we know. It's all.